Yes, very good, dear astromanis, since I have been there for a long time. Well, to buy a device that would make astrophotography easier, especially with my color camera. I have a disk filter, but for the color camera, since sometimes no filter is used, another dual filter is used, it is not used, and sometimes I have the monochrome camera with the filter disk. And I have nothing for the other camera. And then if I want to change that, I am taking photos without a filter. I repeat, the color camera that normally does not, no filter is used well, and I want to put some dual band filter or hydrogen alpha or something specific, I have to unscrew them all. Turning the field is a little uncomfortable if I haven't done the flatos already, seeing the option of to do it flash pod and the hotel, the countryside, etc. So what did I do? I bought this filter holder, a kind of drawer. This was Bonnie, which is a fairly well-known company, quite inexpensive. Then now the link with the description. Let's see if you want to buy this one or if you want to buy another one. Well, I'm going to the link in the description. This one comes in this box, not a well-covered, well-protected plastic box. Let's see what this hexagonal wrench has for any of the parts of the filter holder. I don't know exactly why. So far I haven't used it. Here comes the drawer or the filter holder as such, which is here. And then here they put this kind of drawer where the filters are put. It is a very convenient magnet system. No, there is no danger of a fairly strong magnet falling off. It also has this one, which is another drawer, but for 1 1/4 discs. This one is for 2 in, as you see, and it also has this small halo with thread on both sides. Is it for an adapter? Don't you? Of course, and there is. In the telescope, etc., which does not have the same diameter as the disc holder, then this serves to adapt.
Well, and before continuing, remind you that we already have our online store with the beautiful product designed with the Astromania logo. We have polo hats, we have beautiful algae like this, and many more others.
Products, backpacks, handbags, etc., etc. Those interested then.
It is now available in our online store. Without further ado, we continue with the video.
Now, as you can see, another option would be to use a filter disc instead of using a disc holder. Can I use a filter disc? It can be a manual filter disc or an automated filter disc like this. What's the problem with this? Well, one of them is that for a color camera, for example, we generally don't need many filters. So this is perhaps an unnecessary expense. In this case, this is much more expensive than this simple disc drawer. That is, we would save a lot of money. The other problem is if we want to use the camera in a system that has the camera and the front optical train where the light enters as a phrase, for example, because a filter disc would obstruct. In much of the light, that is, it makes no sense. This is less invasive, of course, because it would be covered by the camera, which is much more practical. That is, in a sense, it is practical, but also economically, because that is much cheaper. So let's see how to use it. As I said, this one brings 1 for 2 in, and brings 1 for 1 1/4 are the most common diameters of set. Then put 1 core, for example, we can use if it's monochrome or even if it's color, and we're in a fairly light polluted area, let's say an alpha hydrogen or any other, I don't know. Of course, we can change the discs, but hey, any 1 1/4 disc would put this one here immediately. Well, I repeat, it has a magnet, it's pretty safe. Or can we, if we have a 2-in filter, we use this other drawer that is for 2-in, for example. I'm going to use the other one, the Ultimate, which is an excellent disc. I showed it in another video of hydrogen alpha YY oxygen 3 in dual band, only 3 nanometers, the Ostolon company. And then, well, maybe they have a roof lol. And that's it. Even if we want, well, to make the job easier, let's say we can buy several of these and let it already have it with the discs that we are going to use the station, and it would just be removing it, putting what we have in the cables. In the cables, of course, it would be an extra expense, but hey, it all depends on the conditions of each person, right? So now how to put it in the telescope? It's very simple. For example, I use this small telescope, the ASCA FM 180 Pro. I normally use it because, remember, the camera has to be at the right distance, and that must be taken into account. Remember, this is going to add extra distance. Normally, when I had this disc holder before, I had this adapter here. And here I put the camera. Now I simply remove it. I'm only interested in having this one. I have another adapter. That is, we have to know which adapter to put it, what extension it had, so that the camera has the appropriate distance, and we would put it here. What's the problem? This diameter is larger than this one, but hey, that's why this adapter comes, because in many cases they are sometimes standard, etc. This adapter for situations like this, we play here and now. Yes, well, you have the 2K, let's say, indicated to put here, it's ready, and then all that remains is, of course, well, put the camera. I'm going to put this camera. Colors, ACES 071. In color, I repeat, this is more practical. Well, it is practical for anyone, also black and white, but black and white, like many times we use 3-4 filters in one on an object. It is a little more uncomfortable. Here, the color cameras, normally, let's say, I'm taking a color image, or I want to make luminosity without filters, and then I want to use the dual man, for example, or hydrogen alpha for something specific, or let's say I'm photographing a galaxy that has a lot of star formation zones. For example, I'm thinking of M82, the Cigar Galaxy in the Osa Major, or maybe the Triangle Galaxy in the Triangle that has a lot of zones, a lot of nebulae that emit alpha hydrogen. Well, we could, let's say, use this without the filter. Of course, we have to put the tray here, even if it is without a filter, because we have to put it on it, because otherwise we are going to be in danger of light coming in here. But hey, we can put it without any filter place to photograph, let's say, with visible light, the galaxy, and then we put a maybe on it. Alpha hydrogen, which is quite ideal, certainly for this gas emission zone. Can we place this or one of the two options within? Indeed, we can proceed with it. There is no need to rotate the field at all, because there is no requirement to unscrew anything in plastic. We capture the image with alpha hydrogen, making the composition easily visible and apparent light. Utilizing alpha hydrogen, there's no necessity to, I reiterate, unscrew the camera. Thus, we can dispense with flashing, which otherwise poses an issue. This remains a significant advantage, being very comfortable and economical. Again, I will include it in the video's description, the link for those interested in purchasing. Essentially, it's this modest device, this record-holding gadget. Very economical, much cheaper than using a disc filter, and sometimes we don't need a disc filter. Something as simple as this, because it solves the problem, or sometimes we cannot afford to buy a filter disc, and this is a good solution. If after interest in the video, as I always say, well, give like, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed for new videos. Thank you very much for being here, and see you next video on Astromania.